there, big boy. Don't have a date tonight? Stuck at home, all alone? Then pick up the phone and dial 555-FAKE. That's 555-FAKE. Of course, you won't get any of us on the line. We're just models hired to do this commercial. But if you're desperate enough to call and pay what we charge, you probably won't even care. And at $2 for 30 seconds, you'll wind up spending a small fortune before you even get the slightest glimmer of satisfaction. So come on, don't keep me waiting. After all, time is money. Call me now, sucker.
So, what are you wearing tonight? Sounds yummy. Me? Oh, just this old enchanter's robe of mine. And nothing else. Oh. All right then. How very nice to have heard from you. Same time tomorrow night, my dear. Kisses. Well, my creepy cohorts, as the show's host, it's rather important to put oneself out there, to make sure that the sponsor is kept satisfied. While I have this opportunity, I would also like to reaffirm the fact that our beloved psychic, Miss Cleo, is standing by right now to tell your fortune, and only for a nominal charge to your credit card. So, after the show, pick up the phone and... Not so fast, you wandagenarian wanker. I'll have you know that Miss Cleo is no longer in the business. She's retired, with extreme prejudice. X-nay on the Leo-K. Can't you see that I'm only trying to... Besides, I've been quite inconveniently banished to a dark realm these past 2 decades, bereft of any such creature comforts as cable TV. So, what do you expect, Mr. Know-It-All? Duly noted, sir. When I send you back to that very special, cold, empty void, I'll be sure to hook you up with a few inexpensive crossword puzzles and a second-hand Etch-a-Sketch. Oh, how peachy of you. Well, it appears as though I command just about as much respect around here as Dwight Fry's bat-infatuated character does in our feature this evening. I wonder if that bottomless pit he went leaping into offers a basic cable hookup. And now, let's rejoin our film for the exciting climax. I mean, fright-filled conclusion. There is nothing like shamelessly leaning into blue territory. Your very first night back on the job. The showrunner doth protest too much with all of this loose talk of wankers. What do you expect after locking me away for 20 years? Our lovely fake phone girls aside, it seems as though there may be an opening for an all-new 1-800 personality. I wonder what famed psychic Sylvia Brown is doing tonight. So, that's it then? No vampire? No undead bloodsucker? No supernatural monster? Well, no. The notion of a vampire abroad on a killing spree, that was just a red herring to provide cover for the actual murderer, who was himself a victim of hypnosis, and forced to provide the fiendish scientist with a regular supply of fresh blood for his wicked experiments. Uh-huh. Oh my. No vampire. What a crushing disappointment. What a letdown. Personally, I don't see it that way. I'm a big fan of this film, which in its way has a good amount in common with another vampire as red herring movie made a couple years later, Todd Browning's Mark of the Vampire. I have to say, that one gets a lot of flack as well for its ending, which reveals the supposed vampires as a troupe of actors that posed as vampires in order to trap a murderer. But I've never felt cheated by these deceptions, because they're both completely viable thrillers with fine casts and spooky atmosphere. Well, all I can say is, let's hope that tonight's presentation didn't have the unfortunate side effect of provoking everybody to go bounding up their stairs to their chamber pots. Reports are just now coming in. It's not looking very good. The entire population of Ghoul Beach just flushed their toilets at the exact same time. And the massive expulsion of wastewater has just flooded the low-lying Creekside residents. The smell alone is said to be thoroughly noxious. Ah! The numbers are in, folks, and they don't lie. It seems as though we've accidentally stumbled across an all-new way to gauge viewership. I retract my objections from earlier in the show, Stevie. I commend you on your sterling choice of public domain films. I don't think it was the movie. Remember years ago when Entertainment Tonight host Mary Hart was accused of prompting seizures just by speaking in certain random viewers? Well, I believe the true cause may well rest with you, Tim. Something about the sonic characteristics of your voice, or else you did something untoward with your wand that I don't know about. Either way, things are looking pretty bleak. There's no joy in Mudville. Is that what you're trying to say? Well, that's entirely absurd. The very thought that anybody would take such extreme issue with my dulcet tones. It's laughable, I tell you. The problem is more widespread than that. Vincent Grimley just texted me to say that you should stop talking already. His pipes have burst, and the hallowed room where he so carefully stores his vast external drive collection is flooding with sewer water. Oh, really? Well, I refuse to take responsibility for this nonsense. Why don't we cut to our latest Horror Host tribute segment and give the audience an opportunity to mop things up a bit. Ah, that truly warms the cockles of my grinchy old heart. As always, you know, it's good to cast one's gaze backward. Spin me back down the years and days of my youth, as Jethro Tull once so famously sang, to see from whence we horror hosts of a certain vintage sprang. Okay, some good news to pass along. The flooding seems to have miraculously ceased, and
people seem to have dried out again quite nicely. Did you have any hand in this?
Oops, my bad. It appears that I accidentally left my wand on the evacuation setting. I was, chasing some pesky ants out of the kitchenette earlier. In any case, all that was required was to simply reverse the flow. Presto! Gould Beach is high and dry once again, except for the staggering patrons in the local bars. I even left everybody with a fresh pine forest scent. At any rate, all's well that ends well. I believe I just coined that phrase. Feel free to use it, if you please.
Not likely, you scurvy old pirate.
Silence when you speak. You're a legend in your own mind, Stevie. There, I've just coined another one. Go forth and spread it throughout the land. I don't mind in the least.
What a low ebb we've sunk to this evening. And after harboring such high hopes, too.
Well, you know what they say, don't you? There's nowhere to go but up. Or did I just say that? I believe so. Set controls for the heart of the sun. Scary as Hell Theater is back in business.
First Jethro Tull's Thick as a Brick, and now Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. Why don't you try updating your MP3 player sometime?
All right, Mr. Smarty Pants. What have you been listening to of late?
The Cure's Disintegration and the Sisters of Mercy's Floodland.
Talk about a regressionist, huh? Well, on that all-too-dreary note, according to the old clock in the crypt, we're running out of time. So, gather around here, all of you, with old Uncle Tim. What have we learned from tonight's classic horror meditation? We've learned that there's nothing more sweet than Fay Ray's smile. There's nothing more fiendish than a mad doctor who keeps throbbing disembodied organs alive in his lab. And there's nothing silkier than a nice, soft bat. Take all of that with you into your dreams tonight. And rest easy in the knowledge that your slumber will give way to a brand new day. And a fresh pine forest scent.